Let us start today's essay paper discussion. Okay, two sections, section A, section B. One you have to select from each. Now, in today's session, first of all, we will discuss how to choose a topic. We will discuss one or two topics. Plus, we will discuss how can we write. Many of you have asked that how do we write 1200 words on this topic. Yes, the topics are now, all the topics are philosophical now. So it depends on your ability to interpret, your ability to see dimensions, etc. So all the constituents of writing essay, some part of it we will discuss in today's session. We will do it in three sessions where we'll be discussing all the constituents of a good essay. So first of all, what is the difference between essay and GS? Essay is an elongated GS answer. You write a GS answer in 150 word or 250 word. Essay आप कितने में लिखेंगे? 1000 words or 1200 words. So in GS, you are looking for diversity. In essay, you are looking for depth. There should be depth in your knowledge. Not diversity is a factor, but in essay, you have to go for depth and diversity. Any theme that you choose in essay, you should write in depth about it. GS may you don't have to go into explanations. In GS, you write quotes, etc. Here you can write stories, anecdotes. पूरी की पूरी कहानी लिख सकते हैं आप, मिसाल लिख सकते हैं. जीएस में अगर आप मिसाल लिखेंगे तो आप मिसाल बन जाएंगे. यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू राइट मोर देन 15-16 क्वेश्चंस. तो इसलिए हम कोट्स लिखते हैं, वी राइट करंट अफेयर इवेंट्स, वी राइट definitions, etc. In essay, your introduction has to be at least 1 page and it should be linked to this topic that is being asked. Now, in a GS, you will write pros, cons. Here, you will write for every theme. Suppose you have picked social theme. In social theme, you will pick up pros and cons. And then you will write a detailed solution, which you may not get the chance to write in a GS part. Now, GS has specific questions from specific syllabus. यानी GS1 का क्वेश्चन है, GS2 का क्वेश्चन है, GS3 का है, GS4 का है. एसए में क्या होगा? एवरीथिंग इन GS. GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4. All this is your syllabus. So this is just the basic, first of all, difference in writing an essay and writing a GS answer. Where do you get the content from? All of you are asking, how will I write content? So just 5 minutes on content, because this class is primarily to discuss the essays that are asked in 2022. तो जीएस में आपको कंटेंट आपके सब्जेक्ट से मिलता है. एसए में कहां से मिलेगा? यू विल गेट डायमेंशंस फ्रॉम योर इंडिविजुअल सब्जेक्ट्स. जैसे GS1 में देयर इज हिस्ट्री. सो फॉर एनी टॉपिक दैट यू चूज, you can begin from ancient history. You can trace the journey to medieval history, then modern history. और मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री में आपको फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल में से हर एस्से में कुछ ना कुछ पॉइंट मिल जाएगा. मीडिएवल हिस्ट्री में हर एस्से में कुछ ना कुछ लिखने को मिल जाएगा. एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री में you will be getting points to write. Very famous people that you will write in ancient histories, for example, Ashoka. In medieval history, you will be writing about the Mughal Emperor Akbar or Aurangzeb. और छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज.
Hello guys, before we start with the discussion, we just want to inform you that we have launched a very special and unique type of program which is called Excel Mains through the previous year's questions. In this program, we are going to cover the entire syllabus of GS paper 1, 2, 3 and 4. The philosophy behind this program is we are going to cover the syllabus not randomly but just by using or referring the previous year's questions themes, and the themes are extracted from the last 40 years of previous year's questions. There will be a live discussion, there will be a answer writing with the mentors, and the second program is the intense answer writing program which is called Samachar Vani Plus, in which there will be a weekly classes on 10 topics which are extremely important from the UPSC mains and prelims point of view. There will be an answer writing, there will be a questions given after each and every class based on those 10 topics. So even if you are a beginner, this is a good opportunity for you to begin with the answer writing. For any further queries or if you wish to talk with a mentor, if you have any doubts, please drop us a message on the number given below. Thank you.
और various other kings medieval times begin include the imperial cholas etc. तो ये आपको आपके इतिहास से अपने एसे में लिखने को मिलेगा. हियर डोंट लिमिट योरसेल्फ जस्ट टू हिस्ट्री, bring art and culture also, bring architecture, bring culture, culture के सारे पार्ट, डांस, ड्रामा, थिएटर, they will all be giving you content. GS1 में जो सेकंड पार्ट है आपका, that is geography. So geography, location, physical features, climate, all of this will be giving you some or the other dimension to write in your essay. For example, if there is an essay on India and Pakistan border disputes, so you will write about Siachen, its climate. It is the highest battlefield in the world. You will talk about the difficulties of rivers between India and Pakistan because of which the borders are not fenced. और अगर border fence नहीं हो तो it leads to terrorism, infiltration. On our western border, there is 40 degrees Celsius climate, desert area. So camels are used and then the difficulties in sand dunes, etc. So ऐसा नहीं है. First of all, you don't have to limit yourself कि ये border management का question है, तो we have to just write it from the perspective of GS3. No, you have to start thinking from the individual chapters. Third component in your GS1 is society. Now, once you think of society, you will think of the syllabus. सिलेबस याद होना इसलिए जरूरी है. एसए में सबसे ज्यादा फायदा होता है सिलेबस के याद होने का. सो सेलिएंट फीचर्स ऑफ इंडियन सोसाइटी, कास्ट, कम्युनलिज्म, रीजनलिज्म, सेक्युलरिज्म, urbanization and issues arising out of it, then women and their role. Baki, you can also take out various stakeholders. Society में कौन कौन stakeholders है? One stakeholder is the vulnerable section. Vulnerable section में आएंगे women and children, scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, दिव्यांगजन or differentially abled, transgenders, LGBTQ community, aged population, migrant population, refugee population. So all of these come in minorities. All of these come in your vulnerable section. अब ये डिटरमाइन करने के बाद कि these are the vulnerable section, you will be able to write at least one paragraph about each of them in your essay. So this is just one demonstration of how to get content. Maybe in the next essay lecture, we will be discussing how can we get content from GS2, from GS3 and GS4. Okay. So now let us come to the essay that has been asked. Section A, forests are the best case study for economic excellence. Poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world. History is a series of victories won by scientific men over romantic men. A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what a ship is for. Now, first of all, you have to apply what I call the golden 15 minutes. In choosing the topic, do not jump to any topic. Do not think ये टॉपिक तो मैं पढ़ के आया हूँ. खैर अब यूपीएससी ने वो पार्ट हटा ही दिया है कि आप सोच के आए कि ये टॉपिक मैं पढ़ के आया हूँ. Earlier there used to be economic essays, there used to be a essay on international relations, there used to be essay on science and technology. अब वो पार्ट हटा दिया है, लेकिन if you go into the background of it, theme अगर identify आप सीख जाएंगे, so you will realize that UPSC is asking the same themes through different sentences. Let us see how is that. Forests are the best case study for economic excellence. यानी एक तरफ फॉरेस्ट है वर्सेस एक तरफ इकोनॉमी है. Can I say in one word, this is sustainable development? Yes. So very easily the theme that I have identified is sustainable development, because there is one side forest, the other side there is economic excellence. You know that another theme I can write it as environment versus economy. है ना? There is environment on one side and economy on another side. Or anthropogenic impact of environment. तो इन सभी से आपको एक बार थीम आइडेंटिफाई हो गया. अब थीम आइडेंटिफाई करने के बाद उसी में पॉइंट नहीं ढूंढने लग जाएगी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अर्बन हीट आइलैंड के लिए हमने एक ज्योग्राफी में लाइन लिखाई थी कि दिस इज द बेस्ट केस स्टडी फॉर ह्यूमन इम्पैक्ट ऑन द नेचर. सो सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ थीम इज देयर. नाउ एक बार हमने थीम आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया. नाउ फॉर द नेक्स्ट 15 मिनट्स ऐसा नहीं है कि इसी थीम को लेके आप आगे बढ़ने लगे. यू सी द अदर पार्ट्स ऑल्सो. कि should I be writing on this only or can I write any else? Okay, so the idea is that you should be seeing all the topics before choosing one. Once you have chosen that, okay, I am going to write first sustainable development, forests are क्या टॉपिक था? Excellent, best case study for economic excellence. Okay. Now you have identified theme is environment versus economy. Next thing that you will do is, can I identify this theme in some other language or in some other keywords which is helping to me? So can I say this is the difference between growth versus development? Yes or no? And is this topic mentioned in your GS3?
Yes.
Yes. Can I call this as sustainable development? Yes. Can I call this as disaster risk resilience? तो ऐसे करके आप 4-5 बड़े हेड्स में you can take this topic first, so that now I know everybody would have prepared material on this. Everybody would have prepared material on this. Many people would have prepared on this also. तो अब इससे क्या होगा कि your ready-made material will now start to come in handy. अभी तक जो essay बहुत ही subjective था, now it has suddenly become objective. Okay. So now what I used to do in the first 15 minutes, I used to write an introduction in rough. So I used to write an introduction in rough. Now here, you can either begin with a quote or with a story. So now tell me some quotes with respect to environment. You have done in essay class many quotes. The greatest injustice to environment is? बोलिए. Belief that somebody else will protect it for us. अगर नहीं कुछ याद आ रहा है, very famous quote by Gandhi ji, there is everything, sorry, there is enough for
every man needs.
Yes, everyone's need, but not enough for
Greed.
for anyone's greed. Yes. Or there is a very famous quote by Khalil Gibran in his book. That quote also I think I gave you in the class. Does anybody remember the quote given by Khalil Gibran? When he says, what is the difference between trees and us? हाँ बोलिए. It is well to give when asked. It is better to give unasked. Too often we say, I would give, but only to the deserving. However, the trees, हाँ बोलिए. The trees in your orchard, flocks in your pasture, do not say, they do not say so. They do not say that I will be giving fruit only to the most deserving. Or your cow does not say that जाओ आज तुमको दूध नहीं मिलेगा. I don't like you. So they give, and through that they live. Because to withhold is to perish. So see, now this is a quote which now is not directly linked to the essay. It is though covering a part of forest, it is though covering a part of difference between nature giving us and difference between economic excellence giving us. But how do we link it? We will link it with Gandhiji. Gandhiji built upon this concept to conclude the trusteeship argument. That is, We do not inherit natural resources. We borrow it from our children. However, in pursuit of economic excellence, what have we done? We have instead created the 4 evil quadrants. What are the 4 evil quadrants that are mentioned in your biology NCERT?
Habitat destruction.
Yes, habitat destruction, over exploitation and pollution, invasive alien species, and what else? Habitat destruction, over exploitation, pollution, and invasive alien species. Now, you have given a 360-degree idea about this is going to be your interpretation of the essay. This is nature, this is economic excellence. Just blind pursuit of economic excellence leads to destruction of nature. It will lead to destruction of humanity itself. Okay, now you come to the dimensions. Or many of you could have begin with RA episode of Maharashtra, RA forest, वो भी आप लिख सकते थे. Okay, so these are the multiple ways through which we can start an essay. ये introduction part आपको, you will have to write it in the back very quickly so that on the paper you don't make mistakes in grammar, you don't do any this such parts you don't do. Okay, so now you come to the dimension of forests are the best case studies for economic excellence. अब forest है एक तरफ, economic excellence है और and it is saying that it is case studies. So what are the dimensions through which you can see this? बोलिए. Ethical. Okay. First of all, geography. Geography में how will you be seeing this dimension from? You will describe India's resources, right? Yes or no? What are India's natural resources? We are abundant with. आप वहां पर फॉरेस्ट कवर भी लिख दीजिए, टाइप्स ऑफ फॉरेस्ट, टाइप्स ऑफ बर्ड डाइवर्सिटी, इंडिया इज मेगा डाइवर्स, ये वो वगैरह वगैरह. ऑन द अदर हैंड, इंडिया ऑफ टुडे इज फेसिंग what? Various hazards, super cyclone, tsunami, cloudburst, landslide and annual floods. So you will, from geography, you will arrive at connecting it with this. What can be the reason? It is because of our faulty models of economic excellence, which did not factor in environment conservation, etc. So this becomes your one dimension in geography. So you can also then here link as a solution. You can come up with disaster management. Here you can talk about या सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट को अलग से बात कीजिए. डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट में यू कैन टॉक अबाउट डिजास्टर रिस्क रेजिलियंस. You can talk about Sendai framework, Build Back Better. You can talk about Prime Minister's 10-point plan for disaster management, national disaster management policy, etc. All those things. This becomes your first dimension. Okay. और अगर ऐसा नहीं चालू करना है तो आप यहाँ पर ज्योग्राफी के नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज बताने के बाद यू कुड हैव सिंपली टॉक्ड अबाउट urban heat islands and how man's economic excellence has brought changes to urban heat island में क्या क्या चेंज कर दिया हमने.
वाटर साइकिल.
यस, लिथोस्फियर यानी लैंड का स्लोप कॉन्क्रीटाइज कर दिया है. यस, वी हैव गॉन फॉर डिफॉरेस्टेशन. देन on the second side, hydrosphere, we have changed the water cycle. There is unseasonal rainfall, there is drought, there is cloudburst. We have changed the atmosphere. Atmosphere में क्या change किया हमने? Greenhouse gases, increased global warming, ozone depletion. Then ओजोन डिप्लीशन के अलावा एटमॉस्फेयर में हमने करा है एसिड रेन, वेरियस काइंड्स ऑफ पोल्यूशन, एयर पोल्यूशन. अर्थ हैज बिकम अ चेम्बर. देन द फोर्थ कंपोनेंट बायोस्फीयर. बायोस्फीयर में हमने क्या करा है? दिस इज द sixth mass extinction. Many species are getting extinct. In biosphere, we have also gone for domestication, GM, etc. उसके अपने threats हैं. In biosphere, we have led to man-animal conflict. In biosphere, या इसको social में लिख लीजिएगा, that tribal displacement वाला point. And then you can connect with disaster management, then you can write about sustainable development. So that becomes one theme from geography. Okay, now economy में इसको कैसे लिखेंगे आप?
Hello guys, before we start with the discussion, we just want to inform you that we have launched a very special and unique type of program which is called Excel Mains through the previous year's questions. In this program, we are going to cover the entire syllabus of GS paper 1, 2, 3 and 4. The philosophy behind this program is we are going to cover the syllabus not randomly but just by using or referring the previous year's questions themes. And the themes are extracted from the last 40 years of previous year's questions. There will be a live discussion, there will be a answer writing with the mentors. And the second program is the intense answer writing program which is called Samachar Vani Plus, in which there will be a weekly classes on 10 topics which are extremely important from the UPSC mains and prelims point of view. There will be an answer writing, there will be a questions given after each and every class based on those 10 topics. So even if you are a beginner, this is a good opportunity for you to begin with the answer writing. For any further queries or if you wish to talk with a mentor, if you have any doubts, please drop us a message on the number given below. Thank you.
How will you write from the economic sphere? So if you remember, Joseph Stiglitz has given fourfold capital. What are the fourfold capitals?
Human.
Yes, natural capital, material capital, human capital, and social capital. Yes, material capital has increased. For example, India's GDP 2007 $1 trillion, 2014 $2 trillion, 2019, $3 trillion. Aim is 2025, $5 trillion. But what is happening to natural capital, human capital, and social capital? Our forest cover, is it stagnant? 21.54%.
Yes.
In fact, in 11 states, over the period of last 5 decades, forest cover has actually decreased. Forest wealth has decreased. What is happening to human capital? 38% girls anemic. Here you can talk about tribal displacement. Chinmay Thumbe in his book talks about the great history of Indian migration, and he talks that around 40 million people were displaced just by 40 million log. Just by big infrastructure projects like dams, etc. This has displaced 40 million people. So human capital mein you can talk about inequality. You can talk about poor health. Delhi's disability adjusted life year of Indians. You can talk about poor learning outcomes. You can talk about jobless growth. Then social capital, lack of harmony. There is increased fragmentation. There is problem of communalism, etc. So that is because we have chosen a model that is just focusing on increasing material wealth. There are sections which are being deprived. Tribals में जब आप बात करेंगे तो you will talk about forest rights, their land rights, access to minor forest produce. You will talk about crony capitalism. You will talk about mining leading to destruction of rivers, etc. Okay, so economic sphere mein basically you will be dealing with development versus growth. In solution, you will be writing sustainable development. You will be writing about green economy. And you know, sustainable development is based on two concepts: intergenerational equity and intragenerational. There is enough for everybody's need in this generation, as well as enough for the coming generations. Okay, so here you will conclude with sustainable development. You can also link it with or conclude as a solution of this with inclusive growth. So the idea is there is growth. Growth plus redistribution is inclusive growth. And inclusive growth plus environment conservation will lead to sustainable development. You can talk about now, once you get into the sustainable development wala mode, start your environment material. Once you start your environment material, now you will start linking. Acha, Brundtland report. जैसे ही Brundtland report आया, because this is the first report that mentions the term sustainable development, you will immediately link it with United Nations Convention for United Nations Framework Convention, UNF, Framework Convention for Climate Change, UNCCD, United Biodiversity, Bonn Convention, CBD. Convention on Biodiversity, United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. And here onwards, you will link your environment syllabus. that what happens because of deforestation. There is land degradation. Land degradation said there is desertification. You can here compare it with agriculture. You can talk about too much of agriculture or too much of uh, uh, faulty irrigation practices, agricultural practices, monocropping, etc. How this is contributing to desertification. Yes, definitely India is having buffer stock for feeding even in COVID for 8 months. Sorry, not 8 months, more than 2 years. The government was able to give free food, free ration for more than 80% of the population. But this came at the cost of what? 25 million tons of fertilizer are used. Land under desertification has doubled. There is salinization and alkalization. Of soil. There is increased cases of farmer suicide. The model has failed, leading to reservation protests. So, see, that is how you will be connecting all that you know. It is just that exercise that it has to be presented in such a way that it looks logical, the flow is logical, etc. I am not going into the entire discussion of what all can you write in environment. You can write several things. But आप यहाँ पे लिखेंगे Indian model. How is the Indian model different? This Prime Minister also talked about in his press conference on World. Prime Minister also talked about how Indian model has inbuilt ethos of nature conservation. We have sacred groves, right? ऐसे पेड़ हैं जो हम जिसको communities protect करती हैं. ऐसे animals हैं, बिश्नोई community. It treats, which is that animal that Bhai did not kill? That
Black
animal.
buck.
Black buck, yes. That black buck took the weapon and shot himself after seeing his movie. So they consider animals as part of their family. There is a community I am not remembering in Kerala. They treat tigers as their family member or brother. And once a tiger dies in a conflict, etc., it is given a proper burial. I'm not remembering the name of the tribe. So you have to give several such examples. You can also give religious examples. In India, nature is worshipped. Nature is worshipped. Nature is personified. And therefore, there is respect for nature. This prevents. Indian model is not based on mindless materialism. So now from various examples you give how Indian model has inbuilt conservation method. Okay. So we have completed 3 things: geography, economy, environment. Now this essay can very well also include international efforts, international relations. Okay, how forests being removed throughout the world, they have had an impact. You can write definitely about climate change and the problems raised by climate change. In conclusion of the essay, is it a question for us to ponder? We as a human race are searching for life on Mars, life on moon, या water on moon. ढूंढ रहे हैं ना हम, मिशंस हैं हमारे, है ना? Mars
Yes,
orbiter
sir.
mission, NASA's Artemis mission, new Artemis mission. Then there is hope project of NASA for Mars, we are also having Kepler and James Webb to find Earth-like satellite. When these very natural resources on Earth are getting extinguished, the Earth Day or the footprint of human beings on Earth, where we exhaust the natural resources, that has come in the month of August, है ना? I think 29th August or something like that. Just check the date कि किस डेट पे अर्थ ओवरशूट डे, sorry, just check this date. This keeps changing every year. कोविड के समय में ये improve हो गया था. I think it has come in July or something, 29 July. Less than half a year you are consuming extra than what Earth produces naturally through its natural cycles. So we have to wonder whether this is a scientific quest or a survival quest. And if it is a survival quest, once again, there will be survival of the fittest. And here the fittest is the one who is holding what? Money. So on that note, you can end the essay. And if you want to end it slightly positive, you should be writing that the world should take into account the Indian model and it should be built in our ethos, civilizational values, to give importance to nature, etc., etc. By that also you can end, or you can very well end with what I have ended with, that if we want to search for life on Mars, it should be for a scientific quest and not a survival quest. You are not going to leave Earth because you had to flee from here, because there is no away from Earth. So this is that entire one essay on the topic. What was the topic? Forests are best case studies for economic excellence. अब मुझे ये बताइए, इस डिस्कशन के बाद, डू यू थिंक इट वाज अ डिफिकल्ट एसे टू राइट?
No, sir.
Or even one sentence I have told you which is not already in your notes, classes, etc. So first of all, stop going for reading books which have typed essay, or stop going for institutes materials जो कि आपको एक essay दे देंगे, टॉपिक दे देंगे और उस पे solution दे देंगे. That is not the way. You will not be able to learn how to write an essay if you don't do this brainstorming on your own. अब हर टॉपिक पे brainstorming आपको करनी पड़ेगी. Okay, so in the next session, please do the brainstorming on, let's take topic number 3. History is a series of victories won by scientific man over the romantic man. So basically, हर साल यूपीएससी ये जरूर पूछती है, साइंस वर्सेस रिलीजन, साइंस वर्सेस ह्यूमैनिटी. ये आपको आज से नहीं पूछा जा रहा है, ये आपको आपके बचपन से पूछा जा रहा है. इफ यू रिमेंबर, आपसे पूछा जाता था साइंस इज अ गुड सर्वेंट बट अ बैड मास्टर. ऐसा एक ऐसे कराया जाता था ना आपको.
Yes.
साइंस इज इविल, या साइंस इज अ डबल एज्ड स्वॉर्ड.
Yes.
So basically, here there is a positive aspect. History is a series of victories won by scientific man over the romantic man. Now this interpretation of romantic man can be a man of art, a man of religion, a man of philosophy. If you remember, we have done this topic. जो अभी वीडियो गलती से लाइव में अपलोड हो गया था, वो उसी क्लास का है जब हम साइंस और रिलीजन को डिस्कस कर रहे थे, है ना? And where we had discussed how science has made advances, how science has become a better instrument than religion, etc. Because science has been able to give you the good life. For the first time, you knew why you are having COVID, although you actually don't know. If you see from the philosophical sense, you don't know कि ये आपकी गलती की वजह से हुआ है. You think कि भाई मेरे पास साइंटिफिक आंसर था, इतनी दूरी बना के रखिए, वैक्सीन लगवा लीजिए, इससे ठीक हो जाएंगे आप, इस कारण से हुआ है. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज टेक्नो ऑप्टिमिज्म. Technology will solve your problem, it will never solve your problem. Okay, so now we will see the series of victories of scientific man over the romantic man in our next session on essay, which probably will take tomorrow, because we will be discussing all these themes. Many of them are very direct topics from philosophy optional also. For example, you cannot step twice in the same river. Now a student of philosophy will tell this is talking about change. ये आप लोगों को नहीं समझ आएगा बहुत डायरेक्टली, बट उनको समझ आ जाएगा, क्योंकि ये हेराक्लिटस का स्टेटमेंट है. देयर इज अ वेस्टर्न फिलोसोफर, एंड इवन बुद्धिज्म गिव्स एग्जांपल ऑफ टेकिंग बाथ इन अ रिवर. जब आप रिवर में से नहा के निकलेंगे, दैट रिवर वुड हैव फ्लोन. सो इट इज बेसिकली टॉकिंग अबाउट चेंज इज द रियलिटी. अब ये आप एक बार आइडेंटिफाई कर लिए, उसके बाद आप दुनिया भर की चीजों में चेंज देखते हैं. यू आर सीइंग चेंज इन पॉलिटी. पॉलिटी में यू कैन राइट द इंटायर from kingship to modern democracies. You can write change in economy. You can write in economy from slave model to so we were discussing, you cannot step twice in the same river. तो अब ऐसे जो चीजें हैं वो एक फिलोसफी ऑप्शनल वाले के लिए बहुत आसान है लिखना, बिकॉज ही नोज कि ये हेराक्लिटस का स्टेटमेंट है. बट आपके लिए भी आसान हो जाएगा. वी विल गिव यू सम सच आइकॉनिक स्टेटमेंट्स, और उसका मीनिंग क्या है. अब एक लाइन में अगर ये आपको पता लग जाता कि इट इज सेइंग चेंज इज रियलिटी, नाउ विल यू बी एबल टू राइट वेरी इजीली ऑन दिस टॉपिक if you understand change is the only reality.
Yes.
For example, if you want to bring change in polity, you will be talking about how the concept of nation state came, how there was monarchy, from monarchy there is theocracy, theocracy से democracy, nation states etc. came. In economy you can talk about slaves, then feudalism, then capitalism, hopefully not communism. So that is what communism is saying. The evolution of history is the contradiction in the material condition of the two classes. So, and you will bring changes in every field. For example, science. Science is the one which is most rapidly changing. 1G, 2G, 3G. Are you serious? So 4G, 5G, these have transformed life. Coming technologies, artificial intelligence, biotechnology, 3D printing, these are going to transform the way you will be seeing life. So yes, then in change, you will also be writing how there are some elements of permanence. For example, values. Science may create guided missiles, but misguided men. So you require values, you require certain anchors in which you can bring that change. So that aspect also you will write. But all that you required was to understand that इस टॉपिक का मतलब ये है. सो वी विल बी गिविंग यू लिस्ट ऑफ सम आइकॉनिक फिलोसफी स्टेटमेंट्स और उनका सिंपल मतलब क्या है. जैसे बुद्धिज्म में आपने वो शायद उस वीडियो में देखी होगी, बुद्धा सेज आत्मदीपो भव और बी द लाइट ऑन टू योरसेल्फ. नाउ यूपीएससी लास्ट ईयर आस्क्ड कि चेंज हैज बीन आउटसोर्स्ड, द प्रोसेस ऑफ सेल्फ डिस्कवरी इज आउटसोर्स्ड टू टेक्नोलॉजी. अगेन थीम क्या है, साइंस की इश्यूज एंड लिंक्ड इट विद अ फिलोसॉफिकल टॉपिक. सो फ्रॉम दिस डिस्कशन टेक वन थिंग, your ability to find out a theme in essay is the first goal that we have to learn. Don't be dependent on any material given on essay. There is no such thing as a material on essay. That is just making a fool of you. You have to develop that ability to identify the theme. आता आपको सब कुछ है. You will be like, your powers have to be just made aware of, है ना, हनुमान जी की तरह. So this is all for today's discussion. For tomorrow, you just do this brainstorming. You cannot step twice in the same river. No, sorry, इसके लिए history is a series of victories, and we will do this also 3 and 6, and maybe in the next 2-3 lectures we will complete the entire essay series and some additional points that what you should be doing, so that fear of essay goes. Then you can bring this into your regular practice and move forward with good marks in essay. Any doubt? No doubts.
So what about these essays? I mean,
That's the number 2, 7 का
आपको
number.
अभी ये हुआ, व्हाट अबाउट आपको फर्स्ट पार्ट में कौन सा लिखना है? या तो पहला लिखिएगा, है ना, या तो तीसरा लिखिएगा, या तो चौथा लिखिएगा, या तो दूसरा। दूसरे पे भी आएंगे। अभी आपको लग रहा हो कि ये तो बहुत अजीब सी बात हो रही है, समझ नहीं आ रहा, पोएट्स आर अनएक्नॉलेज्ड लेजिस्लेटर, कहीं इसका मतलब ये तो नहीं है कि कबीर के दोहे याद होने चाहिए, प्रेमचंद की बात याद होनी चाहिए, हाउ प्रेमचंद ट्रांसफॉर्म सोसाइटी, और हाउ इंग्लिश पोएट्स वर्ड्सवर्थ, हाउ इज अ पोएट ऑफ रिवॉल्यूशन पीरियड, जॉन। नहीं, वो बातें अगर पता है तो अच्छी बात है, अगर नहीं पता है तो पोएट्स आर रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ व्हाट
Society.
it what is society, what is visionary society, what are the problems of society, they are instruments to tell that thing, है ना. For example, when Mirabai is talking about her dedication to Lord Krishna, so she is also laying a path for women to be treated equal in the eyes of God and religion, yes or no. When Kabir is saying about uh, uh, that, which is that quote जिसमें वो कहते हैं माला फेरत जग, मतलब it is not found in the motis, God is found within. When he talks about self reform, self discovery, माला फेरने से आपको भगवान नहीं मिल जाते. I'm not remembering that Sanskrit quote. वो नहीं भी आते तो उसका इंग्लिश वर्जन लिख सकते हैं आप. या फिर कबीर का एक फेमस आपको एस्से में लिखवाया गया था कि people follow the saints, but saints follow the, what do saints follow? That one quote that we have made you write. Let me read it out to you. You can write, ordinary men follow the limited, saints follow the unlimited, deeper minds go beyond both. So now they are unacknowledged legislators because these people have actually brought change. These people have talked about the social issues through their art form, है ना. तो एक ये डायमेंशन है, बट ये एक थीम है. इसके अराउंड देन यू विल हैव टू इंटरप्रेट. सो डोंट वरी, जब हम इसको डिस्कस करेंगे, सी, essay does not happen overnight. Neither its preparation is something that can be done through a source, कि कोई किताब नहीं है कि उसको पढ़ के essay लिख लेंगे. But on the contrary, it is very easy to do essay writing on your own, provided that you practice with the right tools, right information, कि हाँ ऐसे 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 सोचना है, इन एस्पेक्ट्स में है, और उसको प्रैक्टिस करके देखिए. इंट्रोडक्शन लिखना सीखिए, कंक्लूजन लिखना. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स वी विल टॉक अबाउट, डोंट वरी. और डरिए मत कि अरे ये तो मुझे कुछ आया ही नहीं. आपने उस पर सोचा कितना? यू जस्ट सॉ दी टॉपिक एंड देन यू केम टू द कंक्लूजन, आई डोंट नो. तो दैट इज गेटिंग स्केर्ड एंड देन दैट हैपेंस. उसके बाद क्या है कि आप उसको छोड़ दीजिएगा, उसको ब्रेनस्टॉर्म नहीं कीजिएगा तो नहीं आएगा. वंस यू सिट विद द एसे, आपको 1 घंटा लगेगा मे बी फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम टू जस्ट थिंक अबाउट 5 dimensions of one essay, but it's okay. Very slowly you will be developing, and then we will be able to find out 20-30 themes on a topic, 20-30 dimensions बहुत अच्छे से. उसके बाद आप प्रैक्टिस करिएगा तो इंट्रोडक्शन कंक्लूजन लिख लीजिएगा. उसके बाद ओवर एंड अबव दिस देयर आर डेफिनेटली ट्रिक्स, कि हमने एक पूरा सीक्वेंस बना लिया बहुत सारे अलग अलग टॉपिक्स में इंट्रोडक्शन का, कि अगर एग्रीकल्चर पे ऐसे आया तो कैसा इंट्रोडक्शन लिखेंगे, अगर ह्यूमैनिटी या वैल्यूज पे आया तो उसमें किस तरह की कहानी लिख सकते हैं. इस तरह की कहानियों का एक कलेक्शन बना देंगे. दिस मे बी अ मटीरियल, बट दिस इज डन आफ्टर यू हैव अंडरस्टूड हाउ टू राइट एन एसे. वो तो आपको एडिशनल मार्क्स दिलवाने के टेक्निक है. दैट हाउ यू कैन गो फ्रॉम 100 मार्क्स टू गेटिंग 130 140 मार्क्स, दैट वुड रिक्वायर दीज एडिशनल थिंग्स. बट फर्स्ट ये 100 मार्क्स तक पहुंचना जो है वो हमारा फर्स्ट एम है. ओके, एनी अदर डाउट?
सर तो ये जो लास्ट वाला ऐसे जो आई नो उसको आप किया नहीं है, बट लेकिन हिंदी इंग्लिश में जो ट्रांसलेशन इसका अलग नहीं है, मतलब वो राइट अधिकारों की बात नहीं कर रहा क्या?
कहाँ पे?
8th नंबर वाला.
जस्ट बिकॉज यू हैव अ चॉइस इट डज नॉट मीन एनी ऑफ देम हैज टू बी राइट. राइट अधिकार नहीं है, राइट मतलब सही, ठीक तो लिखा है ऊपर,
Okay.
किसी को भी ठीक होना ही होगा.
ओके सर.
एनी अदर डाउट?
Sir, how many philosophical essays came this year?
यार इसमें से ये बताओ which is not philosophical. But
No,
2,
sir.
3 are very, very.
Earlier it should be in one section only. This time it covered in both sections, I guess.
So this is not happening this year. Last year also they asked in 2 sections, and I think this is a trend that they are going to follow now. They are
Okay,
going. अब वो essay को कैसे बदलेंगे? How can they make your life difficult and actually test you? So this is the way they have chosen. कि वो कैमोफ्लाज कर देंगे essay के themes को in sentences of philosophy. और कुछ बातें तो उन्होंने डायरेक्ट फिलोसफी से पूछ दी. जैसे फिलोसफी में आप पढ़ते हैं ग्रोथ वर्सेस डेवलपमेंट, देन यू स्टडी अबाउट साइंस वर्सेस रिलीजन इन फिलोसफी. एक दो टॉपिक तो वो ऐसा देंगे कि जो डायरेक्ट है, जो कि एक सिर्फ फिलोसफी का बच्चा लिख के आएगा. जो पहले होता था, दे यूज्ड टू आस्क वन टॉपिक फ्रॉम PSIR. तो जो PSIR का बच्चा है, वो अगर नेम पूछ दिया उन्होंने, तो ही और शी इज एबल टू राइट बेटर. साइंस से एक आता था, एक इकोनॉमी से आता था. अब वो पूछेंगे साइंस इकोनॉमी वगैरह ही, बट यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू रिकॉग्नाइज. वो रिकॉग्निशन ही हमको करना सीखना है. So if you ask directly, then 3-4 are directly from philosophy. Only rest what people call as philosophical essays. So if, in my opinion, all are philosophical essays. The time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining. Just because you have a choice. Look at the 7th topic. A smile is the chosen vehicle for all ambiguities. Now you may interpret it as हंसी, तो वो वाला भी interpret कर सकते हैं, और ये मुस्कान की चमकान. But ये दोनों नहीं करना है वहां पे, है ना? Now, invigilator has a problem in his life, but you have to get marks irrespective of his problems, right? He got a smile, he's frustrated for his answer, but you have to interpret this. In how many ways can we interpret it? And how is a smile chosen vehicle for all ambiguities? Okay,
Okay.
अब इसमें आप मतलब in dire circumstances we should keep calm. आप इसमें इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस, मतलब वो तो आपके ऊपर है ना, कि आप किस तरह से इंटरप्रेट कर पा रहे हैं, हाउ मच ब्रॉड सेंस, एंड व्हाट आर द जस्टिफिकेशंस यू आर डूइंग फॉर इट. बिकॉज इन माय ओपिनियन, द मोर फिलोसॉफिकल एसेस कम, द लेस योर चांसेस ऑफ बीइंग वीक इन एसे. सिर्फ आपका इंटरप्रिटेशन बढ़ जाए तो आपकी जनरल जीएस की रीडिंग से आप एक अच्छा एसे लिख पाएंगे. अदर देन प्रिपेयरिंग द इंट्रोडक्शन, कंक्लूजन, स्टोरीज, एनेक्डोट्स, कहानियां, एग्जाम्पल्स, कोट्स, वो पार्ट तो देखिए प्रिपेयर हो जाता है, पर उसको लिखना सीखना है बस. वो हम सीख लेंगे अभी आने वाले 2 सेशन. एनी अदर डाउट?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone for your time and patience.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hello guys, before we start with the discussion, we just want to inform you that we have launched a very special and unique type of program which is called Excel Mains through the previous year's questions. In this program, we are going to cover the entire syllabus of GS paper 1, 2, 3 and 4. The philosophy behind this program is we are going to cover the syllabus not randomly but just by using or referring the previous year's questions themes, and the themes are extracted from the last 40 years of previous year's questions. There will be a live discussion, there will be a answer writing with the mentors, and the second program is the intense answer writing program which is called Samachar Vani Plus, in which there will be a weekly classes on 10 topics which are extremely important from the UPSC mains and prelims point of view. There will be an answer writing, there will be a questions given after each and every class based on those 10 topics. So even if you are a beginner, this is a good opportunity for you to begin with the answer writing. For any further queries, or if you wish to talk with a mentor, if you have any doubts, please drop us a message on the number given below. Thank you.